Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will serve you the tea. You know what time it is? Welcome to Chronicle Speaks. I'm starting to see more and more why Tina Knowles walked away from that 30-plus year marriage. I see more and more why Beyonce wrote that divorce song for her mama called Ring Off. Because when it comes to Mathew Knowles, there's more moonwalking, backtracking, and gaslighting than one can even stomach. Recently, Mathew sat down for an interview where the interviewer actually gave both him and Tina their flowers. The interviewer acknowledged the role that they both played in building the legacy of Destiny's Child, which is something most people who know the history already recognize.
You've earned your flowers. I've said the same thing to Tina Knowles. You guys put in the work, and obviously the talent was there with your kids and your grandkids.
But Mathew seemed like he couldn't accept Tina getting some type of shine. Instead of simply agreeing or acknowledging Tina's contributions, he said,
"What work did she put in?"
Child, I know Beyonce called her daddy like, Daddy, stop the track. Let me state facts. Because one thing these two don't play about is they mama, and you definitely don't want to get Solange involved. So let's just take a quick pause right there, because anybody who has followed the story of Destiny's Child knows that Tina was far from just the wife. She played a significant role behind the scenes during the group's early years. Mathew quit his job to manage the girls early on, and Tina was left being the only one with an income in the household, having to support her family. They had to downsize their home and was left with one car. And you ask,
"What work did she put in?"
Child, this man is not going to make me throw my imaginary wig today. We are going to get into this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. Tina was the designer and the stylist who created many of the iconic matching outfits the group wore in their early performances. Those coordinated looks became part of Destiny's Child's visual identity before the group ever reached global stardom. Tina styled the girls' hair, even giving them pops of color to give the girls their own identity at a young age. I even remember meeting Destiny's Child in 1999. I was 14 years old. But Tina was right in the background, making sure that nobody disrespected the girls. Everyone was treated fairly. She was one of the road moms along with Latavia's mother.
You've earned your flowers. I've said the same thing to Tina Knowles. You guys put in the work, and obviously the talent was there with your kids and your grandkids.
What work did she put in?
In the hair.
Okay,
clothing.
yeah, you're absolutely right. And the styling.
The styling.
The imaging, you're right.
She claimed to have preyed on the name, and different aspects of that.
Sure.
So, yeah. It's a joint effort.
We'll stop now. We'll stop now.
Yes, sorry, did I say something wrong?
No, we're good.
All right.
We're good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
So everyone that saw it as shade. It was given.
Hurting the group. I'm the best thing that ever happened to this damn group.
So Miss Tina Knowles took the high road and said, let me do a little subtle shade. Let me let my contribution speak for itself.
Tina Knowles doesn't really get credit for how she shaped culture. Being the matriarch is a big piece of the puzzle, but it's not the full picture. The truth is, her story is no different from other black artists who were blocked from participating in mainstream, mocked for their work, and yet ultimately copied. Miss Tina left the hair salon to devote time to building Destiny's Child. She answered the question, how do you create a girl group that looks cohesive, honoring the past while still maintaining individual personality for each of its members? With major names refusing to dress Destiny's Child, she used bold fabrics and designs to create some of the most iconic looks of an era. They called her work tacky until it became couture, with similar looks showing up on runways. Nevertheless, this became the ultimate girl group blueprint, with the biggest girl groups now using the Tina Knowles method of cohesive individuality. And if that wasn't enough, in a return to form, Tina Knowles was able to take the decades of knowledge of hair health and styling and turn that into a successful prestige hair care brand, Sacred. From redefining hair to defining the look of an era, we celebrate the beauty icon, the matriarch, badass Teenie B, a true uncrowned queen.
Now Mathew Knowles wants to backpedal. He's gone from to now saying,
Mathew, in the interview, when the local anchor here in New York City, Candace Gibson, he asked you about Miss Tina Knowles. He said that he was trying to give you both your flowers. and you asked him, what did she do? What did you mean by that?
I think I calmly what I said, and I'm actually quoting, what work did she put in? It was a question. When I look, I don't do interviews, Carlos. I have conversations.
Yeah.
And I have the right, as I'm a college professor. I didn't know what he meant by that. So I'm saying calmly, what work did she put in? That was a question. I don't know how that became a comment, but it was a question. And then the gentleman went on to say her hair. Well, Tina did way more than just her hair. And if you look at the interview, I said her hair. No, she did the styling, built the image for Destiny's Child. Wouldn't you agree that's way more than just saying someone did the hair?
No, absolutely. I think a lot of people are familiar with Destiny's Child's story. I mean, they're one of the biggest female groups of all time. And so I think a lot of people felt like it was an awkward moment. It certainly appeared to be awkward. And I think people wanted clarity because they know what Miss Tina has done. They, of course, know your legacy with Destiny's Child.
Yeah, I'm confused because if someone diminished what Tina does and just say she did the hair, and then I come back and say, no, she did the styling. Isn't that me giving flowers that she did more than just hair? And you just diminished her to she just did hair? That's why I'm just so baffled by all of this. But I tell you, Tina and I have a wonderful relationship. You can't even find a negative comment I've ever said about Tina. So I don't get it. I do get it. I mean, people try to bait us all the time to be against each other. There was a complete misrepresentation here, and I'm evaluating all legal remedies at this time.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I won't have any more comment.
Okay. So speaking again of Miss Tina, when I've interviewed you, you have spoken fondly of your ex-wife.
My former wife. That's a negative term. Ex-wife. I've never referred to Tina as my ex. I'm always positive. She's my former wife, and I give her the respect of that rather than saying ex.
Well, Mathew, what is your relationship like today? And did she respond to this video?
I don't know if she responded. Are you asking if she responded to me?
Did she respond to you? Yeah. Did she call you up?
No, not at all. Not at all. We have conversations all the time. We're parents of 2 amazing kids and 3 grandkids. So we just, our family is not that way. I'm very disappointed that people are positioning this that way.
It's a joint effort.
We'll stop now. Just simply because I asked the question. These conversations aren't one way when you're sitting down that I can't ask you a question, Carlos. And I think that's what you'll see in the future as what we used to call interviews will become conversations.
So we talked about that interview a bit the other day, and I mean, you told me, you said that the interviewer arrived late and you were ready to pretty much, you're over it, essentially. You know, you've spoken to him, given him time, and that was the end of the interview. I think a lot of people, I just want to clear that up. So, because you didn't storm out.
No.
Yeah. So
I shook his hand, took photos afterwards, the whole bit. As I said, I had someone downstairs waiting. It was a full day of back-to-back meetings, and so I had to get going. But I wasn't there to talk about Tina. I was there to talk about Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute. And somehow we talked 20 minutes of that, and 2 minutes of this conversation has taken over what the whole meaning of what the conversation was about. So, look, I don't get upset, man. Carlos, that's why I wanted to come on today. But, you know, I haven't read because I don't read social media like that. But my publicists are saying, for example, that I have something against women. All I do is support women.
So it's clearly the throwing the rock and hiding your hands for me. The moment the interviewer said Destiny's Child was a joint effort, Mathew Knowles got up and left. But now suddenly you're acting like you had Miss Tina's back the whole entire time. Now you're talking about evaluating all legal remedies like it was the interviewer's fault that you decided to take all the credit. Sir, what? This is the same woman who was not only your wife, but she was also working right beside you to make sure that these girls became the greatest girl group of all time. She was sewing costumes, helping shape the image, supporting those girls, and holding things down while the machine was getting built. She wasn't just sitting around. She was there when nobody else was there. She was your lover and your secretary, working every day of the week, even when he was having babies and laying it low and spreading it wide.
That you lay it low and spread it wide.
So let's be very clear on one thing. We will forever honor Miss Tina and her contributions to the foundation and success of Destiny's Child, because behind every iconic era, every performance, and every look that defined that group, there was a woman working quietly in the background, making sure those girls showed up like stars. And that woman is Miss Tina. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on with Mathew Knowles and the Destiny Child of it all? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching, but before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.